Okay, welcome. I'm Stuart here at HobbyKing. You join me down my local patch where we do all of the videos, and it's a very busy but very beautiful evening this evening. So I'm glad you could join us. So there will be some noise in the background, but it's a club, so it's what you'd expect, and I'm sure it's what you enjoy as well. Anyway, Tip Bench Tuesday. I said that wrong last time. It's a bit of a tongue twister, but this is a Tip Bench Tuesday. Following on from the Gloucester Gladiator that was a ModTech Monday video, and that was showing weathering on an all silver out the box model. What this one is slightly the reverse of that, and it's even a simpler affair, combining the dry brushing that I did show you in that Gladiator video with a very simple method and tool, which is a silver marker pen. You combine a silver marker pen with that dry brushing, and for your camouflage model, plug and fly models, a lot of them come camouflaged out the box looking pristine. Combine those two techniques and you can end up with a really nicely weathered looking warbird such as this Yak 11. Now the Yak 11 is perfect for it. It's a big size model for a foamy. It's very clean, but it's got the camouflage and it takes this technique very well. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut back to a few days ago where I've got a pristine Yak 11 in front of me, and I'm going to talk you through the technique of using a simple silver marker pen, a little bit of dry brushing to really bring your warbird or your camo model to life, because it's a very simple thing. You don't need a lot of skill, you don't need a lot of tools or investment in terms of time, because it's very simple, very straightforward. It doesn't take long, it takes a little bit of patience and practice, but the results are there to be seen. So we'll give you some beauty shots of this when we come back, but as for now, let's head over to the workshop and I'll show you how very simply you can weather with a silver marker. And then when we come back, we'll do a little bit of flying too, just because we're here and why not. Alright, see you soon. Okay, so here we are at the bench. You saw us a minute ago out of the field with the Yak 11 all weathered up. As you see it in front of me now, it's brand new and shiny out of the box. And what I'm going to do is take you through the very simple steps you need to weather up a camouflager painted and camouflage plug and fly foamy such as the HobbyKing Yak 11 using a simple silver marker pen and the dry brushing technique I've already showed you on the Gloucester Gladiator video. So without further ado, let's get right into it now, showing you first of all how it goes on a wing. Okay, now getting straight into it, this is a wing that I've already done. You can see that the silver on the corners of the panel lines and on the walking step and everything else looking really effective when combined with the dry brushing. I'll show you a little bit of that later on, but if you missed it and you want to see how it's fully done, look in the Gloucester Gladiator video. But panel lines such as this on a warbird such as this are crying out for just these little highlights on the edge, and it's very simple to do with a marker pen, silver marker pen like this. So let's get the wing that's already done out the way, and we'll bring a new wing across. Okay, here's a panel that I have not done. You can see it's not been weathered there. Panel lines are just crying out to be highlighted. So get your silver pen. You want to shake it. It's those types of pen that you need to shake it up a bit, shake it to wake it. And it's very simple. I always like to start with the corners like so, and you just highlight. You've got to be rather quick, and then once it's highlighted, just rub just a little bit of the edge off like that, and then give it a little bit of directional rub as well, and then instantly you've got a really nice highlight. Now in real life these panels would have had slightly raised edges, and the reason I'm highlighting them is because again in real life those painted edges would have, being not flush with the rest of the panels, they would have caught the wind and been eroded. The paint would have been eroded and rubbed off quite easily. So again, by highlighting those corners and going all the way around the panels, you get a really nice highlighted effect. And we'll do another one here, just following the panel a bit, and do a little bit down here as well. And then again, use your finger just to rub along, and then highlight a little bit more on the corner there, a little bit of wear, and there. And then instantly there you get a really nice effect. And you just want to go along and do that for the rest of the panels. So we've got this little corner here that will rub a little bit. Again, just rubbing in the direction of the wind. Here at the bottom here, do a little bit across there, there and there, and just rub it slightly like so. So your finger gets a little bit dirty, as you can see there, but it's worth it because even straight away that's really come to life. Then when you paint the when you do the dry rubbing into the panel lines there, it looks superb. Now this is what you'll want to do around all the edges of the panels on both the top and bottom, all the panels across the model. But for example, this black strip here, this is a walkway strip, so in real life the pilots would have, this would have been a like a high grip surface finish here, and the pilots would have walked up that to get into the cockpit. So especially here on the trailing edge, that's where you would have taken your first step as a full-size pilot. So here you really want to add a bit of silver and work it in nicely with your finger, giving it some directional grain as well. So I've zoomed in a bit more now so you can see. So again, this point here is where you would have taken your first footprint. So here I want to be quite generous with it. Now remember, you need to do this quickly. So just quite quickly, because it doesn't dry instantly. And then you want to rub that around a bit, get some directionality. If it gets a little bit dry, just put a little bit more. And there, look at that. Now on its own it might look a little bit excessive, but once you've got all the panels done, and especially with the dry rubbing, weathering on it, it really does look the part, as you'll see again from this panel here. I think you can probably just pick it up there. If you can't see it clearly now, you'll definitely see it once I've finished and we're back over at the field. So I'm going to go ahead now and do all of the remaining panels on both the wings and the fuselage and the tail plane. I haven't assembled the model at all, and you want to do this weathering before you do any assembling. And then of course, again like we did on the Gladiator, we're going to varnish it as well, just to seal all that weathering, and of course the decals also. And I've got a little tip on the canopy of the Yak 11, which we'll come to as soon as I've finished the panels. Alright, so the sun is setting here in my outside studio, so I want to get on and just give this final point to you. You can see that this wing here, if I hold that up, this is the one that was originally shown before. It's been silvered and weathered, and this is the wing, bring this over, that has just been silvered. So this will be gone over with the dry brushing technique. There it is on the underside there, hopefully you can see that. If not, when we get back to the field you'll see it in its full glory. And the fuselage has been done as well. Now, if you're unlucky enough, now with the Yak 11, there are some of them where the paint mask, the masking that was used. Now, with the Yak 11, there were some examples where the paint masking on the canopy is not as good as it could be, but I actually got one of those models in this one that I pulled from stock, but that's going to work to my advantage, and I will show you why. I've taped it off around where the canopy framing would be, and there's a little bit of underspray actually. So what you can do is, with the masking tape, flush along the frame, or where the frame should be, then go along with your marker pen again. I'll give you a close-up of that now, and see how it looks when we bring the tape off, because it really is that much better. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. If you can see on the canopy paint, or the frame paint there, you can see there's some underspray, and it doesn't look great, but there's a quick trick you can do using the same marker pen to make it look like worn metal, basically. So remember, in the full size this would have been painted aluminium, and now we're just going to give a paint chipping effect, or wear effect. So what I've done, I've masked down along where the actual frame mold is, so this is where I can feel the ridge of the frame, and then you get your Sharpie again, or whatever you call it, take the lid off, got it on nice and tight, and then very simply just highlight the exposed area, the area that doesn't have any paint on it. And rub your finger along, get a little bit of directionality with that. And I'll do the same on this side as well. So rubbing, and then a little bit of directionality. And here, this one's particularly bad. They must have, the regular guy must have been on holiday or something. So just here again, bring it round, a little bit more. Remember, you want to give a full exposed metal effect. A little bit of directionality, a little bit of rubbing. And then what you're left with, now if you take that off, so do the big reveal, ta-da, and Ta-da! So it's gone from being underpainted to now looking really nice and exposed, like there's real metal underneath that paint. So I'm going to go ahead and do this for the rest of the canopy. Alright, so we're back on this very hot and sticky summer's evening, but you can see, and you saw from those shots there, it worked out really well. Again, that combination of the simple silver marker pen technique just to highlight those panels and corners, combined with the dry brushing in the direction of airflow, with a bit of varnish and some patience, and it works so well. So I'm really pleased with this. What I've also done in addition, I've added a pilot, I've sprayed the propeller silver with white tips, and it's now pretty much ready to go. So just to round off this video, we'll just give you a nice little flight of it flying, weathered up like this, as you see it. So it's available in all the warehouses that we have right now, and it's a great subject for weathering, so definitely give that a go. I'm going to sign off now, and we'll do a little flight of this weathered Yakko.
Oh, that's really nice.
Alright, that's that one in the can.